Hello, everybody. This is Angel Arts, and welcome to session number 10. We've finally reached the double digits of our campaign, and we're probably relatively halfway. Not quite, but just reaching. Is my thought is the halfway mark. We're approaching it. So, after the craziness and insanity that was the last session, I wanted to take a step back and ask each character what, since we are now in the home system of the Volus, or the Voli, whatever the plural form of Volus is, give me as much detail as you can give me as to what your opinion of the Volus in general as a race is. Um, I'm just curious, considering how they are.
I think Dia's opinion of the Volus is like I feel like the better question in regards for her is does she even have an opinion on the Volus? Because I don't think Dia has ever encountered like Volus, like maybe a few times with her family, um, depending, but I don't think Dia thinks any differently of them. I mean, yeah, they're bigger and smaller species, but she doesn't really care. I guess that's the best way to sum up Dia's feelings. She doesn't really she knows they exist, but doesn't really like think of them any differently or anything more than other races. So they're just sort of there for her.
So she doesn't necessarily consider them any more or less significant than the Asari or the Turians, which I think, at least in society, people tend to care more about the Asari and the Turians versus, say, the Volus.
I mean, well, politically, yeah, but for Dia, like in terms of like thoughts that sprung up, bullets don't really come up to her mind very often. So yeah, they're just sort of like there with the other races in her mind.
I'd almost say that the Volus are actually lower down on the totem pole than even the Drell in some situations. Because, like, you know, people don't really think much about the Volus because we didn't even, like, we had a Drell companion and people loved Thane. We've never had a Volus companion. Hell, we've never had a longer conversation with a Volus. Mass Effect 1 with that ambassador. Very start of the game, basically. So, I guess my Nathan's opinion on the Volus, because he's probably met an awful lot more. He probably employs Volus because they're all so he probably has one or two of them on retainer for his accounting and banking and stuff like that. He thinks that people underestimate them in ways that they can't quite comprehend because not an awful lot of people give them much thought. They see a Volus and they think, oh, he's a stockbroker or he's an information broker or he's some sort of businessman. They don't really think that a Volus could be much of a threat because that's just not what they're known for. And then, of course, there's Koalin, who's kind of an exception to that rule because Koalin's a badass. So Nathan has known that people underestimate people just because they don't understand that they can be more than what you perceive them to be. He understands that himself. So yeah, he believes that the Volus are highly underappreciated and they're not as focal in people's brains because they just don't think about them. If you know what I mean. Like it took them a month to figure out that Irune was disconnected from the rest of the galaxy. So that kind of shows something there, I think.
The way that the Volus tend to be portrayed in the games themselves, at least, quite often they are sort of known as the comic relief race. Many Volus that you meet in the game tend to be at the butt end of some sort of joke. And it seems like the galaxy as a whole doesn't tend to take them very seriously, except for the only thing that they do take them seriously for, respect them for, is of course their savviness when it comes to the market and commerce and trade and things like that. But beyond that, they tend to, I wouldn't say they tend to be overlooked. I tend to think that they actually get the spotlight fairly often, but normally it's at their own expense, humor wise.
Because somebody's a biotic god, of course.
Yes, exactly. That's a very good example
The
of
Volus
one.
pizza guy.
Right. Volus pizza. I love the Volus pizza guy.
Double pepperoni.
So I think that's that. I mean, that's how I'm seeing the attitude that the galaxy has in the majority, at least. So I think a lot of your points of views are going to be in the minority. What about you, Kiwi?
Yeah, I feel like Vito admires the Volus for, like we said, this market savviness, I guess. I mean, they revolutioned the banking system of the galaxy. That's what Vito sees in Volus. He sees their history, which he has studied. He has studied on Arun before, and one of the universities he went to was on Arun, and I get the feeling that he has, I'd say, a better understanding of how Volus feel when they have to go off planet, in the terms that the suits they have to wear, because for even if it was a short time, because Vito never finished his semester on the Iron University. He had to live essentially in an environmental suit on Arun, and I guess he has a better understanding of how they feel off planet because of that. But I wouldn't say he particularly sees Volus much different than the other Solarians. He mostly sees them for how the galaxy sees them.
It's like a stereotype or something like that, that like there are merchants and such. But well, the way I think Gimmick thinks is that even though Gimmick has the access to all the information in the extranet and such, Gimmick always gives like priority to the things that it experiments firsthand through the vision of people around him. So for what Gimmick knows is for the experience Gimmick has with Koalan. So even though he has connection with all those stereotypes and such, it's still like it gives priority to the experience that it already has. Gimmick knows Koalan. It's like any other people. It's people. It's someone that would do the same things that other would do in other place. So yeah, it's like I mean, Colan even wants to be a Shastikar. That it's something that Nasari would normally do, and it's restricted to them in normal situations. So yeah, it's like it doesn't really matter how they look on the outside. For Gimmick, it doesn't. So, and yeah, when it comes to the things that people say about them on the internet, it's just like you need to know to the to know the distinction between what's real and what's just things that people say because they are stereotypes and such.
Let's move on to where we last left off. So we came out of a very adrenaline-filled situation, and by the skin of your teeth, you guys managed to go through the mass relay at 88 light years per hour before the ion storm dissipated, and you travel through. It feels a bit rocky, as if you're on an airplane and undergoing heavy turbulence, but eventually it starts to even out a bit, and within seconds you will find yourselves emerging into Volus space. And you emerge from the mass relay. Now, you still have to fly from the mass relay over to the planet of Irune to reach where Salo's sister Nilu is, but at least the vast majority of the most challenging part of getting to Nilu has been completed. When you look around your immediate surroundings from the mass relay, you are going to see, first of all, the most obvious thing is the mass relay itself seems to have been defaced a bit with some graffiti. It's got all these random words. I don't know if spray paint's not the right word, but somehow something is graffitied on this mass relay to look like something very phallic, as well as a bunch of other words from various alien languages that I'm not going to repeat the meaning of, but that sort of sets the tone of what's been going on here for the last few months. There's a couple of ships, like I would say running the gamut of maybe like there's one freighter ship, another larger ship, and another smaller ship.
Yeah, the
Okay.
second they make it through the relay, Vito slumps in his chair.
You guys have to promise me something. Never make me drive again.
We'll see. And Nathan will reach over to the intercom. Can I get a ship-wide situation report, please?
Dia goes over to the intercom. She replies, "My body aches, my heels are burned, my clothes are ruined. Everything's so peachy. Peachy Michi."
Click, 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 click. And there'll be high fives going between Stan and Sajiri.
Well, we're here. Anybody got any way to contact Nilu?
One of the Quarians will say, "We are connecting with Miss Vera immediately. We are connecting with Miss Vera as we speak."
Right. And he'll connect it to the ship communication hub and be like, all
Sure.
right, we can talk to her here. That way we can...
While you're doing that, Pip is going to answer your question, Nathan, and say, "I'm checking out the vitals of the ship, and everything seems to be stable. There's a bit of slight damage done to the exterior due to the ion storm, but for the most part, nothing that can't be repaired over time.
Excellent. Might need to get Jules a new paint job before we give it back to him, but that'll be about it, I think.
Maybe we should use the same. Kind of decorating as they use on that. She says, pointing at the mass relay. I'm sure Jules would get a kick out of this.
I'm sure Jules would probably faint if he saw that on his ship. As entertaining as that might be, we'll see.
Yes, it would be entertaining, and that's all I care about.
Fair. All right. What about Gimmick? Where's Gimmick gone? Is he still in the collective?
Yeah. Gimmick is still like connected.
No,
I don't know.
He's asking on the intercom to the quarry downstairs.
He seems. She's going to respond back. She seems to still be connected. Hopefully he will be reviving momentarily.
We'll see. Right then, we just gotta wait for this connection with Nilu.
Oh, as I live and breathe, we actually made it back home.
Welcome home, Koalan.
Oh, thank you. I didn't think that I would be this overcome with emotion. I need a moment, he says as he steps out of the general area.
Okay.
You will eventually hear a voice coming from the screens in the navigation area, which is where most of the main computers of the ship are. And you will hear her say, "Testing? Testing, testing."
We can hear you, Nilu. You can hear us?
I've made full connection to the revolution. Excellent. Well, congratulations. Things got a little rocky over there, but thanks to all of you, especially to Gimmick, it looks like the plan was a success.
Do you have any updates on David, the individual who assisted Gimmick?
She pauses for a moment. That's a very good question. She goes over and asks one of the Quarians next to her. Mr. David Archer, the one who is helping guide the revolution to this system. Are you detecting anything from him? The Quarians respond back with a shake of the head. Nilu sort of like bows her head a little bit. I see.
What does that mean?
It means that they lost communications with David approximately 4.87 minutes ago. They're trying to reestablish connections again, but that's all I'm going to say. They're trying to reestablish connection.
Oh, David. I knew we shouldn't have let him do it. Fuck. Alright. Alright. No point in waiting on that right now. He's only MIA, so hopefully we'll get him back. Hopefully.
To my understanding, he's under the care of my brother. I hope and trust. I'm very confident that if there's anything that we can do to locate David, Sala will be doing everything in his power from his end to keep him safe.
Well, you better be. Anyway, we have your equipment, we have your people, and I've brought something to help with you in arrest.
Excellent, she says. Our resources here are very limited so it will be very difficult for us to fly over to you. But if you're able to land in these coordinates, that should be safe for you to land the revolution.
Perfect.
I'm not
I will drive then, since Gimmick is still unconscious. But we will meet you there, I assume.
Yes, I should warn you though that things have gotten much, much worse on the planet of Irun. As I said, the entire system has been in a state of anarchy. Fortunately, where we currently are at is not nearly as bad as in some of the more populated cities, but just use caution when you're wandering out and about on the planet. I trust that you have suits that will let you wander around in the harsh environment of Irun.
Nathan nods. Yes, I have my my armor suit. It's fully encased environment suit.
Perfect. Then hopefully we will be connecting with you very soon.
All right, see you soon, Nilu. And Nathan will
Over and out. And she will disconnect.
Nathan will fly the ship. I'm assuming I won't need to roll for that because he's just taking his time getting there. He's not overtly interested in going fast, right? Because he will sit though in the chair and he won't really say much to anybody.
Vito will have let the chair to Nathan, but he'll just sit down on the floor in the cockpit, just completely drained.
Dia would probably head to the cockpit and just say, did we all see that graffiti on the Mass Effect relay?
Yep.
Is that normal? Is that supposed to be on the Mass Effect relay?
Nope.
Oh fuck. She's just gonna go walk away after just saying her piece. And
You're not
yeah.
doing this.
Gimmick would come back, but I don't know where he would appear. Like there is a computer room or something like that, like an AI.
So you were so physically where you were, if we go to the ship, majority of the mobile platforms, as in the Quarians, were in the cargo bay, doing what they needed to do to connect with the collective and get you guys through the mass relay. So you were also in the cargo bay.
Okay. So yeah, I guess Gimmick would appear like in the cargo bay. There is anyone there like close by, or everyone is in the main?
The Quarians are there.
Okay.
But I don't think anyone else but the Quarians are there.
Okay, so Gimmick would appear and like approach to one of the Koreans nearby. Greetings.
Congratulations. Thank you very much for your help.
Thank you too. You did a lot of job too. So I wanted to ask something.
Of course.
There was a lot of trouble over in there, and I was wondering, my friend, did he get out?
We lost contact with your friend approximately 6.73 minutes ago.
Oh, that seems like exactly the time where everything went black. That means that is it still trapped inside, or what does it mean?
He is either trapped inside, or he trails off a little bit, or he didn't make it.
Well, can you still feel him at this in the collective?
They said we've been running searches, but we haven't gotten any sense of him as of yet.
Okay. And you gave me like a possibility of him being okay?
The possibility of him surviving during the ion storm's interference is approximately 32%.
Well, that's a generous approximation. Thank you.
Vito, roll me a D100. He asked me the question. He asked me what's the probability, so... If you guys don't want to know, don't ask me that question.
Okay, roll that D100, baby. Roll that
Rolling
D100.
Are you rolling high or are you rolling low?
Oh my god.
Maybe Astra should roll it, since Astra was the one who
Oh,
cooked
no!
it.
Let's keep with
I think
tradition.
we should have...
Ash is rolling this one because it's his fault.
But I leave Mikey to pick
No.
a higher low.
No, I'm not picking anything. This is your decision, Astra.
You know what?
This is your responsibility. If you kill
Can I
David,
roll it as a secret for you, Hark? Like a secret roll that you can only see?
I'll roll it. I'll roll it off
Okay.
camera.
Let me...
I'll roll it.
that way it's on his conscience.
Okay, I think I go visit Dia. I think that she was under a lot of stress because she had to use her biotics to get us here. Okay, thank you for your time.
He will nod. And you will find Dia where?
Dia is sort of like pacing back and forth after like that brief stint in the cockpit. She got a little awkward, so she just like backed away because it was a little too silent in there. So she's like wandering around like the lobby area by her bedroom. She's just like pacing about.
So, Gimmick would approach Dia. It's in the corridor.
Mhm.
Greetings.
Oh, hi. Hi, Gimmick. Thank you for not failing and maybe causing us all to die. Thank you so much about that.
What do you mean?
I mean, if we fucked up even a little bit, I probably would have failed.
Well, you also didn't fail either? And we didn't fail?
Yeah, all the stars aligned, everything turned out okay. It just looks like Nathan's a little bit in a sour mood right now. It's like kind of those two look very tired, Nathan and Vito, emotionally exhausted.
Oh, you think we should go and try to make them feel better?
Well, I don't really know what's happening. I was
Could
there for this mention of this dude named David.
Yes.
I don't really know who he is, so it's not really my place.
Well, he was helping us.
Helping us?
Yes. He also took some decisions that benefited us in the end.
Awesome. What were those decisions?
Well, I guess he felt things. So I don't know. You said something about feeling being bad. Like it allowed us to be here, not feeling.
And not feeling, yeah. I just had a feeling that without your help, I don't think I would have been strong enough to get us to boost us to where we had to go.
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe it wasn't me that I did what I did. Someone else did it for me. And they had to pay the price for it.
Gimmick, are you okay?
Yes, it's just that maybe we should go talk with Nathan.
Do you need to sit down first?
Well, I don't really have to sit down now because
I
I'm
mean-
not. Give me. It's not actually in the body. It's like floating around.
You'll have to specify if you're
Yeah.
in the Asari body or not. So
Gimmick, it's like in the drone, floating around.
the drone form, his ghost form.
I think that it would be best if I'm not alone with him.
Okay. I got the hint, and from past behavior, that is a very good hint. Okay, sure, I'll be with you if you need it.
Thank you.
Just
Let-
be careful what you say. We all know he has a history with anger.
Well, I wouldn't blame him.
No judgment on my end, okay?
Okay.
Just you have a really bad you have a poor choice of you have poor word choice sometimes, Gimmick.
Oh, about that. I don't remember if I already told you or already said it, but I'm sorry for talking with your brother without asking you first. I thought that I may be doing something good, and in the end, it turned out that I was making things more complicated than I needed to be. So I'm sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay? It's done deal, it's over. Alright, let's deal with this new problem and then deal with the next one. Okay?
Okay. Yes. I'm going after you.
Okay. So I'm probably like leading him up ahead.
Yeah.
So Dia opens up the cockpit. Okay, guys, I'm back. Nathan, Gimmick needs to have a little chat with you. He's just a little shy.
So Nathan was like sitting in the control chair, like slowly, well, not too slowly, but safely leading them to the rendezvous point. He lit up a cigar, and when you say Gimmick's name, you see the vein in the side of his neck that's always there. It just seems to get a little more tense. And you see like Nathan's entire body just tense up, and the grip on the controls gets just a little tighter. He doesn't say anything though, so he's not going to stop you quite yet.
Dia just like
Gimmick is poking his head through the door like a bit, like picking. What are you doing? Nathan?
He doesn't respond.
How are you feeling? Okay. So, do you want to talk with me?
Dia's like this, pointing at Gimmick, pointing at Nathan,
No, just keep coming on.
just like doing this.
So, I have something to talk with you. I was thinking, do you want to? Maybe I could drive for you, and you could go cook something for us. Or...
Dia just snorts. She's like doing this with her hands because I'm assuming Nathan isn't looking at them.
I need to talk to you, Nathan. Make me a sandwich.
Oh God! Gimmick is so lucky Nathan doesn't have a shotgun on him.
Oh my god.
So Nathan, like, the second you start mentioning cooking and like leaving the cockpit and all that, Nathan swings around in the chair and like I'm tempted to have him just slap you across the face with a biotic punch because I think he'd do that because he's furious. So
Should should you roll for damage or something like that?
yeah, so he
Yeah.
bursts into
intercept?
biotic and like he charges at Gimmick.
Oh,
So
okay.
This is the
Vito,
charge.
Dia can- Go
I
ahead.
don't know. I'm kind of like on the side here. Do I
D-
get a roll to just
What are
move
you-
out of the way or something?
To move out of the way?
Yeah.
And Dia's trying to
Nathan's
intercept.
not aiming for you. Plus, charge doesn't affect anything except its target. So
Mhm.
unless-
Can
Yeah.
Dia intercept this and to just because she doesn't want people killing each other in the
Roll me a deck save. 5. Okay. I'm going to say that you're going to attempt to try to intercept, but you're not going to be fast enough.
So Nathan charges Gimmick. You can ignore the damage there because I'm not interested in that. He then punches you for 10.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
So
Damn it.
there's this
Ow.
violent burst of energy as Nathan charges. Dia like falls out of the way. I don't know, and he hits Gimmick, and then you see his right hand. All the tattoos are burning bright purple underneath the shirt that he's wearing as he punches. Like it's this strong straight jab, like straight into the center of the drone skull, I guess, face looking thing. And there's just this violent burst of energy, and Nathan is just staring at you with the cigar in his mouth with these. How best do I put this? These rage-filled, sharp eyes that look like if you don't shut up now, he will keep punching you.
yeah. Well, Gimmick armor disappears like the shield, yeah. But Gimmick will stay like that and be like, I can sense that you are a little bit stressed.
And you get another punch for that.
Dia's gonna get in between it. He's not even gonna let Gimmick say another fucking word. Dia's gonna get in between.
And back
Okay.
and bursts again. He's about to swing again, and then Dia gets in the way.
Dia gets in the way. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Dia gets in the way and
Nathan.
what happens?
Not Nathan. Vito. Vito's just gonna put a hand on Nathan's shoulder, kind of like holding him back.
Okay, so a firm. Okay.
Yeah.
And Dia, what does Dia say?
Okay, Dia's gonna say this. Okay, can we have a sit down here, please? You
No.
guys, Nathan.
Don't get in my way.
Yeah, I don't want you to end up damaging Gimmick.
Bit late for that.
Well, better now than never. Can we talk about this?
No.
You and Gimmick have to talk about it, yeah?
No, we don't. You don't talk about a lot of things. I'm not willing to talk about this.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Can you at least let Gimmick explain?
Get him out of my face or I will keep punching him.
Okay, I just want to say one thing.
No, I'm not listening. Don't
Okay,
leave.
Dia, I want to say one thing to you then. I did the best I could. I really tried. And, well, I only want to give you this so you can give this to Nathan. And Gimmick will give the data that David gave me last time. David wanted this to be to Nathan to receive this. I don't know. I would let him get his own conclusions from this.
Yes, we probably should. So just go relax. Maybe get back into indie. And then we'll talk a little bit about this later.
Okay.
And we'll talk about how to talk properly later.
Okay. And Gimmick would leave the room.
Once Gimmick leaves the room, Nathan's biotics disappear and he drops his fists. Though Vito can very easily feel the tenseness that's in Nathan's arms and back and just in general.
In his arms and back. Yeah, Vito's just.
It grabs him like,
But
Hashtag Siloric dead jealous.
yeah, Vito's going to be.
Look, I don't understand the whole thing. But I don't think fighting will resolve it.
Helps me feel better though.
Well, then, do you need a punching bag?
No, just Gimmick's face.
Well, I'm not gonna let that happen for a lot of reasons. A lot of them to do with the fact that will need him to get back home, and the fact that you don't really know what happened in that data space.
Sure. But it was Gimmick who decided to bring David and get him involved. So it's his responsibility.
Listen, we all know by now that Gimmick is not quite adjusted properly to how things work or the power of his words and what to say at a proper time, as we just saw. Can you I'm not asking for you to talk to him immediately for obvious reasons. It's just that I don't want this to affect our performance together in the future, because it's already affecting it.
Oh, I won't kill Gimmick out in the field. Not interested in that. That just seems like I won't stab him in the back if that's what you're looking for. I'll punch him in the mouth. If I wanted to kill him, I would. So, yeah, you stop that, and after this is all done, all bets are off.
Why are you acting as if Gimmick killed David?
When you shoot a gun, is it the gun that kills the person?
Well, you misunderstood what I said. Why are you assuming that David is dead? Like, I don't know who he is. I don't have any knowledge about what he is like or anything. But from all you know, he's just disconnected. We don't have contact with this guy, right?
No. If Gimmick hadn't gotten him involved at all, he'd be safe. We wouldn't be looking for him right now. I wouldn't be terrified of him gone. So yeah, right side, yeah, sure. Silver lining, yeah, sure. He's probably fine, but at the same time doesn't stop me from not being mad.
I mean, you can be mad all you want. I'm not saying that you can't not be mad. It's just that in order to avoid problems in the future.
I've already said that this won't affect anything for the future, but once we're done here, all bets are off.
Do you at least want to know what happened?
Do you know what happened?
I didn't ask because he was going to tell you.
He's not here. I think that's all I really need to know. Well, not here, but you get my meaning.
Yeah. So, do you want the that thing now? I'll play it.
Just give it to me. He was meant for me, so I'll play it privately.
Dia sends the piece of code she got from Gimmick to Nathan, and Dia's gonna say to Nathan, "Listen, Gimmick's a child. Gimmick's a kid. We all know that. Look at the way he acts."
Yes. And?
Young people make mistakes.
Exactly.
And
And
I'm looking for your point here because yes, he did something, made a mistake, whatever, or maybe he didn't. Maybe this is just some weird glitch from David being so strangely familiar with the collective. But to be quite frank with you, I don't care. Gimmick should have rethought his actions. He shouldn't have got somebody involved that he had no right to get involved. He didn't even ask me if he could go get David involved. Sure, I may have said no, but at the very least, then I wouldn't feel like he went behind my back.
well, from the sounds of it, it sounds like David helped Gimmick do whatever he needed to do in that cyberspace thing. All I know is if Gimmick and him did not accomplish whatever they did, I would not have been able to use my biotics for the ship in the master relay, and we could be God knows where in the universe.
Well, at least David helped. That's all he really wanted to do. So, I guess he got his wish there. I need to get
Yeah.
back to finding the ship. We're not getting anywhere talking.
Do you want any drinks, any food I can come bring you?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Dia just gives a little side glance at Vito before heading out.
Nathan will slip back into the pilot's chair, cigar still burning, and unless Vito like taps him on the shoulder or something, Nathan is going to pull down like a holographic display on it over his eyes so he can watch like the whatever data, listen to whatever thing that David has sent him privately.
So, the recording will start. This is very, very raw. You don't see anything except for it looks like the camera has sort of been set up in the like dining room / kitchen area of the apartment. So it's shaking a little bit as if somebody's setting something up on a stand. And then David finally like walks around. Okay, I think it's recording. All right. I meant to write something down, but I couldn't really get the words on down what I wanted, so I think I'm just gonna do this cold, if that's okay. And then and then as soon as he starts to speak, like you hear a buzzer coming from the kitchen, and hold on, Nathan, David says, and he runs over to the kitchen, and you see him like opening the oven, and he pulls something out, and you hear him like curse, oh, and there's like smoke coming out of the oven. And then he pulls something out of the oven, and he gets like a spatula, and he starts like shuffling it around, and he says something in the distance you can't hear what he's saying, but he puts some of whatever was on the tray, the baking sheet in the oven, he puts it onto a plate, and then he walks over to the camera with a plate. He says, I was trying to make something for you before you go on your trip. I remember you talking about the cookies that your mom used to make you and how she didn't quite get the shape right, and she always got them, looking more like squares than circles. So I was trying to make square chocolate chip cookies for you, but they look more like pentagons instead. Sorry. I was going to surprise you with these, but they don't look right. They smell good though. Oh, okay. This is all messed up. Let me start over from the beginning. Maybe I can cut this. Hi, Nathan. This is David. I wanted to send you a message because I'm about to do something that I don't think you're going to like. But part of the reason why I'm here is because I wanted to be more independent. I wanted to prove to myself that I can take care of myself, and part of being independent is to make my own decisions. This is the decision that I made. I wanted to do this because my entire life, Nathan, people have always protected me. My brother at the end wasn't that great at it, but growing up he always protected me when we were kids. And then Shepard tried to protect me. And then Jack tried to protect me. And then when I met you, you tried to protect me. Everyone's been protecting me my whole life, and I'm grateful. I don't think I would have survived as long as I did if it wasn't for that. But just this once I wanted to protect someone else. And I saw a chance that I could protect you. Because you've always been very important to me. You reached out to me when we first met in the gym, and for a while I thought I was fine, just me and my subjects and my numbers, but when we would hang out, things just made more sense. Even though I couldn't calculate it, it just somehow square roots just didn't seem to be as important anymore. And that's very hard for me to say, since they have been a big part of me getting through difficult times. I don't really know what's going to happen, and hopefully you'll never see this, because the cookies are terrible, but I just wanted you to know that this is my choice, and even though I don't think you need protecting, I wanted to, and I care about you a lot. So, that's all. And he looks around and tries to turn off the video, and it turns off.
So to start off, Nathan would have been like watching it, like he would have been kind of entertained at the fact that he tried to cook something and it's all burnt and smoky, and and when he started mentioning cookies and his mom, he was like, "Oh, that's so sweet," and like it brought like a really nice tear to his eye. But then as things went on, Nathan slowly begun to crumble as he watched David tell him that, it was Nathan all along that changed his perspective on life and the world around him. And when he was talking about how this is his decision and he doesn't feel that Nathan needs protecting, but he wanted to do it anyway. And even though Nathan is keeping the ship steady and flying on course, if anyone was to actively walk into the cockpit, they'd find Nathan in a state of hysterical crying, as silent as it. He will flick up the visor and keep that for whenever he might wish to view it again.
I'm going to say that, well, first of all, does any of the PCs?
I think Dia, after leaving, is probably maybe when Vito comes out, just gives a look and is just like maybe like by the door out of sight. She's like twiddling her fingers, looks a little bit nervous. And I think
When Vito sees her face, he just shakes his head and like he doesn't go that far from the navigation / firing system. He probably just flops down somewhere there.
Dia's gonna run quickly into the kitchen. She's gonna get some vodka, and she's gonna just get some a snack, and she's gonna open the cockpit, and then she'll just leave that on the inside. He can come grab it when he wants it, and she's gonna leave it, and then leave him alone. Let him have his moment of quiet time.
Meanwhile, Gimmick, where did you go?
Gimmick would go get Indy like Dia said, and like be sitting, meditating, or thinking about what happened in Pip's room.
Meditating. Okay, and you're still in your drone form?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
inside Indy's body.
Indy's body. Okay, and you are inside Pip's room?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to say that Pip will also enter into her room shortly after you start meditating. And she will say, "Gimme, Indy, you're back. How? Congratulations, I think are in order." She actually doesn't notice that you're, you look very calm. She says, "I think congratulations are in the order. We made it. Isn't this exciting?"
Well, is it possible to do something wrong, even if you want to do something good?
Yes, that's happened to me quite some time, actually. One moment, I was trying to get a birthday present for my father, and I found this really nice cologne, and gave it to him. He seemed very pleased. Yeah, turns out he was vastly allergic to the thing. He ended up with this horrible rash for weeks. Oh, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Oh, I was so devastated. Why do you ask?
Well, I may have done something like that. So how did you help? How did you made up for the problem you caused an accident?
Oh, well, I told my father that I would, well, first of all, after we, took him to the hospital to have himself checked out, I offered to make it up to him. He said that I didn't have to, and I kept apologizing, but he said he knew that I meant well, but I insisted, and so I ended up helping him out around the house, doing chores, things like that.
Well, I think that's something I could do.
What exactly did you do, Indy?
Would you get angry with me and punch me if I told you?
No. I don't think I would ever physically hit you, Gimmick, for something wrong you did. I think that's a bit barbaric, personally.
That's really kind of you. Okay. I know that I can talk with you. So, do you know David?
We met. He was a very sweet young man. Very good friend of Nathan's, apparently. Although between you and me, I feel like there might have been a bit of history between them at some point, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
Oh, I mean, it sounded like they were very close
Oh,
back when they were at school.
yeah, it seems like they have a really good connection between them.
What about David?
Well, I was thinking how we could increase our odds of getting here. And one of the options was to go ask David if he wanted to help us. And he decided that he would help us, but there was a problem inside the collective. And now we don't know where he is and if he is all right.
Oh. Oh my. So. And I guess Nathan knows?
Well, I'm not sure, but he seemed angry with me, so I assume that he knows.
What did he say? What did he do?
Well, he actually didn't want to talk with me. So I just let him get better. I felt like leaving the room would be the best course of action because he didn't actually want to be with me.
So, did he seem upset? Did he seem sad? Did he seem angry? Did he seem.
I don't know. It was really hard to get a read on him. It was like as if he was feeling confused. Like there was a lot of mixed feelings. But does it matter?
What he felt, you mean?
Well,
Well, it does matter what he felt.
I mean, does it matter? Well, I only want to know if David is okay. I'm not feeling bad about Nathan. I feel bad because I failed David. I told him that I was going to help him, that I was going to make him come out of the safely. And now, I don't know.
Oh, Gimmick, this is one of the most difficult things about. One of the most difficult things that you probably have to learn is. Things are very complicated in real life beyond just all the data and everything that you probably were accustomed to earlier on. And I'm sure at the time it sounded best for us to get a highest rate of success so that we all could make it here, which it was. Things seemed really stacked against us going into this mission, but we all wanted to participate, knowing the risks, knowing that terrible things could happen as a result of us participating in it. But we felt that it was important enough for us to take those risks. I'd like to believe that David knew that going in as well.